Hey guys, I hope that you had a great week. It's been kind of a rough one for me. I've gotten sick just from working. We've passed around a cold, so now I have it. And I actually just got off work not long ago, about half an hour ago, and I decided to come home and make a video since it's Thursday. And I haven't done it yet this week. So since it's now February, um, I wanted to talk about just really this month in particular, since you have Valentine's Day, you have, this holiday where it's built up so much just on love and, like, you know, how if you're single during Valentine's Day, you're lame and stuff like that. That you have to have a boyfriend during Valentine's Day and all that stuff. So I just wanted to make this month really just about loving who you are. Whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter. Um, you can, I think, learn something from this, and just gonna be kind of really sharing what's on my heart the next week or the next few weeks, and I'm not gonna do a whole lot of planning for this. Just gonna be doing a whole lot of speaking from what's on my heart. So I feel like this week and next week I'm gonna talk really a lot about relationships and stuff like that, since it's right before Valentine's Day. And then I think right after Valentine's Day, I'm just going to talk really about loving yourself more. So, yeah, just, um, so starting off, relationships, they can be a great thing, and that's one of the things that, people don't tend to understand sometimes is like relationships can be great. You can love somebody, but you really have to guard your heart during a relationship. And, for everybody that looks different, you know, um, relationships for everybody look different. For me, I think because of the fact that I've been hurt so many times, that is the reason why I really try to guard my heart even more, and only date Christians and only, date people who respect your boundaries and stuff like that, because everybody has different boundaries. Not everybody has, the same boundaries. Like, um, some people won't kiss before they're married, some people won't have sex before they're married, whatever. It just depends on the people. And so, for me, you know, I have not really set those boundaries like too high. I'm like, for me, I'm just like, as long as I can find the guy that God has for me, I'm fine. Whether that revolves, whether or not we have sex before marriage or we kiss or whatever, that comes later, I think. That's something that everybody has to be comfortable with, the decision that is made between people in the relationship. So, it's something that I feel like that you should just talk to your boyfriend or, whatever about. You should just talk to them about it. You know, don't just set up these walls, because that can turn a lot of people away. And I think it really can hurt you as well, just because, like, you feel like that you have to have these really, really high standards, and you know you just feel like you're never going to find anybody that fits them. So I would suggest, like, just keeping things kind of simple when it comes to what you're looking for in a guy, or when you're looking to start dating, just keep it simple. Don't make this ginormous list of things that you want in a guy. I mean, I definitely think you should make a list of things that you want, but don't make it 20 pages long and where it's like, nobody's ever going to fit into this category. I think that it should just be, simple, and not really focusing too much on, one thing at a time, and just making sure that, you know, you're looking for God in him and not for his personality or like his looks, because there are some really attractive guys out there, but their personality isn't all there. And there's some guys with a great personality, but their relationship with God isn't there. And that's that's the thing that you have to kind of really focus on is, do they love God? Yes, okay. Then I feel like you have to kind of get to know them a little bit. You don't want to just throw yourself into relationships, because I've done that before and it's just not fun because you end up getting hurt. So, yeah, I would just suggest taking things easy. Making a short list of things that you look for in somebody, not some ginormous list that not every guy's gonna fit into that category. Um, and there are some people who I know who do this kind of thing, and they'll have this really specific standard that they want or whatever, and you know, being a Christian, a lot of the things that we hear all the time are, oh, you can't do that because it's sinning, or, oh, I didn't think Christians could have fun. No, we can have fun, we can date, we can really do whatever we want. We can live life just like normal people, but we just trust in God. We have that relationship with Him. And so, when I was talking about, how some people don't kiss before marriage, or a lot of people don't have sex before marriage, especially Christians, you know, that's their own personal choice. And I definitely think that, it's something that you have to, choose to do. It's not just something that everybody does, And, I know there's plenty of Christians that have had sex before marriage. I am one of them, you know, although I feel like I really wish I would have waited for the right guy. I'm not for sure that I would have waited till marriage anyway. So it's just, I think it's just hard, trying to make that decision of, what's right, what's wrong. Because I really, the Bible might say, that you're not supposed to have sex before marriage or whatever. It might say that. But, you know, I sometimes find it hard to live by the Bible. Like, especially since it was a book that was written like thousands of years ago. And I know there's a lot of Christians that feel this way too. It's really hard to live by a book that was written 2,000 years or 3,000 years ago. And although I definitely believe in a lot of what's in it, you know, I feel like that at times we tend to be those Christians that kind of pick and choose what they want to believe. But I feel really strongly about some of the things that I've chosen to believe over, what's, what others believe. And I talked a lot about it last time with, in the last series, with loving others, not just judging them. I choose to not judge people. I choose to love everybody, whether they're gay or whatever, which tends to make a lot of Christians mad, and another choice that I think is I think that, if you and your boyfriend are in love and, you both make that decision to have sex, then that's your choice. I think that it's your choice whether or not you want to do that. I don't feel like that we have to be held to this standard of waiting. And I mean, there are some people that make that decision, and both them and their boyfriend made that decision like, okay, we're not going to have sex till marriage. And that's great. You know, I think that's great. There's always going to be people that are like that. And then there's always going to be people that are just like, you know what? No, we don't want to wait. Yeah, we love God, but we don't want to wait. That's so, old fashioned. That's so not what our time period is about. And, saying this, I'm not trying to make it seem like a relationship should be about sex, because they're not. I feel like that's just one of the many, many great things that comes from a relationship. And, you know, being somebody who's had sex outside of marriage, I can tell you that, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. You just kind of have to, I think both people just have to agree on it. And that's really all I'm going to say about that part of it. Because I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but I really don't care. That's just how I feel. Um, so yeah, I think that just relationships in general, both people have to agree, on what step you're going to take. And, I think that it's just a mutual decision that, one person just can't make themselves, you know, like one person can't decide one thing and another person decide another thing. You just kind of have to work together. And, you know, I think that's one of the great things about relationships, just having two people that work together as well, and they just, they love each other, if they love God or if they love, whatever they love, they're just together. And, which my parents have been married as of January 31st for 40 years. So my parents have been a really good example of just staying married to who, you marry and like, you know, being cooperative with each other. Although, sometimes they may argue, they may fight, it's it's just like, amazing to see how people can do that. And yeah, they can just get together and live together and, spend the rest of their lives together. I think that's great. Like it's hard to do though. You know, I feel like for me it's hard to even date somebody, let alone thinking about marrying, even though like I love to think about marriage all the time. And, then when I like actually start to try and date a guy, I freak out. And, it wasn't really until I started to love myself that I realized, okay, you know what? It's okay. I can have boyfriends, I can be in relationships and be fine. So, yeah, that's what I really wanted to say in this video. Just like kind of giving you my basic, I guess, beliefs about relationships and stuff. Next week I'll go a little bit more into detail on some stuff and come up with some new things to talk about. But yeah. So next week I'll probably talk, I guess, just about, if you're not in a relationship, what do you do for Valentine's Day or whatever. And yeah. So I'll go into that in more detail next week. I will see you guys next week. I'm sorry if this video made no sense at all. I feel like I just kind of rambled on for 20 minutes or however long it was, but hope you guys have a great week. Bye, guys.